So you probably already know that the Sagittarius full moon is going to peak on June 14th at the 23rd degree. And for all of my astro nerds, we know, and who study degree theory, we know that's the 23rd degree of Aquarius. But you probably already know those things. There's a lot of information out there already. But what I want to talk about in this video are 4 things that are coming up for this super Sagittarius full moon that are really encouraging us to step into this space of freedom, into this space of liberation. A lot of us are going to be getting these inner calls to step into a level of authority when it comes to promotions, when it comes to advancement, when it comes to training, acquiring new knowledge, acquiring new certifications. What do I need? That's what we're asking ourselves. What do I need to go to the next level? Where do I need to focus my energy and my time and my resources to be able to manifest these things and to really manifest the lifestyle, the leisure, the freedom, and the liberation that we are currently seeking in our individual lives? And so this Sagittarius full moon is the breakthrough, is the brink of change. It's the big bang of all of these themes that we've been really feeling since the sun moved into Gemini in May. So if any of those things resonated with you, if you feel what I'm saying, if you feel this call for freedom, if you feel this desire to really focus on a promotion or gaining new skills or utilizing the skills that you already have and repackaging them in a new way to attract new clientele, to attract new abundance, or to really promote or push a project, something that you've already been working on and you're now ready to share that with the world, then I highly suggest and encourage you to stay tuned with me for a very quick chat on the super Sagittarius full moon, and 4 things that you want to pay attention to with this Sagittarius full moon, and 4 ways to really tap into those energies. So if that resonates with you, if you want to rock with your girl, stay tuned and let's go ahead and dive into the video. So the first thing before I even get into like the themes and everything like that, we just need to know that this is occurring in Sagittarius, and it's also a full moon. And anytime we see a full moon, that means that we're experiencing an opposition between the sun and the moon. And so there is this climax, there is this breakthrough energy. Something is being exposed, something is being completed, something is finally coming and being birthed, right? If the conjunction is all about planting the seed, getting something pregnant, right? Putting it out there, then that means that the opposition is it's being birthed. The seed is flourishing. It has uprooted itself. It is now here. We are reaping our harvest. And so full moons are a period of realization. It's going to bring things to the surface so that we can become more aware of what our initiatives, our intentions, how they've played out, and also gives us clarity about the things that we may need to release to continue to move forward and experience progress in the future. So with this full moon being a climax between the energies of Gemini and Sagittarius, we've got Gemini, which is a mutable air sign, and we've got Sagittarius, which is a mutable fire sign. And so there is this sense of fire, which is action, creativity, putting something into the physical world, right? We're sharing, we're projecting, we're exploring, we're manipulating the elements, we're spreading something. Fire ignites, it illuminates, it brings attention to, it heats things up. And we've got air, so we've got expression, we've got ideas, we've got relationships. And so there is a sense of expansion between an idea that we've had and how it's actually manifesting and how we're creating it in the physical world. And so there is a sense of making sure that your ideas and your actions are in alignment with one another. Are you just thinking things? Or are you just doing things? Are you doing things with cohesion? Are you thinking things and then acting them out rather than just it being in your head, or rather than you just doing things randomly? You just randomly doing acts. It has no sense of strategy or cohesion or any type of logic or common sense around it. And so that's where we are with this full moon is, what are we doing and what are we saying? And are they actually meeting in the middle? And if they are, then that's great. Push it. If not, this is an opportunity to course correct and make those decisions that are actually going to support the actions and the activities that you're trying to make and that you're trying to create. So that's just a really general overview of the full moon and the energies that we're working with. We're working with the mind and we're working with the publishing, actually putting those ideas, those products into physical manifestation. So that's a really general overview about what this energy is. Now, what are some of those major themes, Morgan, now that we've talked about the Gemini Sagittarius axis? So the first major theme and just overall energy that I'm seeing with the Sagittarius full moon is that small steps equal sustainable wins. Small steps equal sustainable wins. And where I'm pulling this energy from is that Saturn, the planet of responsibility, the planet of discipline, is going to be in a really favorable trine, which is like a harmonious aspect between the sun and Saturn. And this is telling me that you need to make small progress with your ideas. Making small steps is going to really lead to sustainability in the long term, because Gemini sometimes struggles with having really great ideas but not being able to really see them through, and Sagittarius has struggles with having great ideas but being overly excited, overly ambitious. And so Saturn is kind of coming in, especially with Saturn being retrograde, and is giving us the maturity and the patience and the tolerance to see things through in a very practical and timely manner. So rather than doing everything at once or being so lazy that we procrastinate and wait to the last minute, we're learning how to do things in small increments. And this is going to allow us not to overload ourselves. So if you feel overloaded, you feel stressed, you feel overwhelmed by details, you got all these things and schedules, slow down, figure out what can you do today, what can you do tomorrow, and what can you do the next day. Stop trying to cram everything into such a short timeline. The Saturn rules time, and give yourself more time to focus on the things that you're trying to accomplish. It's going to be all about what you're putting your energy towards, what you're putting your attention on is what's really going to unfold over the next couple of weeks. So anything in the next 2 weeks, from June, from now until the end of June, focus on taking small steps to get those sustainable long-term wins that we're really all seeking in this moment. All right. So the second major thing that I'm seeing with this Sagittarius super full moon is what I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, and that was all about refining your expertise. So Sagittarius rules authority. It rules experience, like judges and certifications, higher education, continued learning. This is where we go to get that advanced training, that advanced expertise. And we're in Gemini season. So a lot of people are wanting to read books, they're wanting to do online courses, they're wanting to re-enroll in schools, they're looking into certification programs. They're trying to outline what are those steps to be able to get to that big position or that big title or that big goal that we're working towards. And the best way to do this with the Sagittarius full moon is to refine your expertise. What is your niche? What is your mission? What is your purpose? How can you differentiate yourself from other people? Instead of just saying, I'm an astrologer, I really focus on lifestyle astrology, how to incorporate astrology into your daily routines, your daily calendars. That's what I focus on when it comes to astrology. That's my expertise, taking astrology and breaking it down onto a daily level. This is the energy. These are the things that we need to do today. How can we build and design a lifestyle around astrology? Okay, your Saturn is in such and such. We're going to incorporate these Saturn-like behaviors into da-da-da-da-da-da. That's my expertise. What is your expertise? What certifications and trainings do you need to be able? So when we get to that November 23rd Sagittarius full new moon, you are now like, look, I got the certification, I got the training. This is me. These are my prices. Let's go. So this is the full moon to start taking those steps. Saturn will also be out of its retrograde position in October. So this is going to be the perfect time. I'm telling y'all, use this time now between now and November to get your ish together. Okay. Figure out what is your lane. What are your long-term goals, and what certifications, training, education, mentors, coaches, whoever, whatever you need, resources, assets, whatever you need to be able to step into that new level of authority when we get to November, that this is the time to make those initiatives now. Start to do the work now. You're more aware of what you're missing. You know, you're more aware of the experiences and the training that has led you to this point, and you're more appreciative of it because you're more aware. But now we need to ask ourselves, what do we need to do to get to X, to Y, to Z? So when that Sagittarius new moon hits on November 23rd, we are ready. Okay, we're gonna know who used the Saturn retrograde and focus their time and their energy based on where we are in November in 2022. Okay. All right. Now, the third thing is, and the reason why I said that aspect is coming from Saturn retrograde is going to be sextile the Sagittarius moon. So I'm giving y'all the major themes, but for those who are like very into astrology and the advanced, they want to know the aspects and things like that, then I want you to understand why and where these energies are coming from. So number one came from the Saturn retrograde trine the sun in Gemini. The number two aspect that's causing this deep desire to refine our expertise is going to be Saturn retrograde sextile the Sagittarius full moon. Now, if you want to know more about, you're really into astrology, you want to break it down, I break it all the way down in our Sagittarius community circle workshop on the Insights Club. So if you're very into astrology and you want to build your practice, you want to learn how to read charts, you want to learn how to incorporate that lifestyle astrology piece that I was just talking about, then you want to go ahead and tap into the Sagittarius full moon video that's already on the club. And there's more information about how to join the club, incentives, benefits, pricing, all of that below. Also, if you feel like this is a really good time, you got some goals and things like you want to work on, June is going to be business astrology month for the Insights Club. My business readings are on sale. My career readings are on sale. So look into those consultations as well. Now, the third thing that I want to point out is to cut out those distractions. Get rid of them. Stop, put them phones away, put them computers away, cut out the distractions and get to it. Okay, this is a focus girl summer, focus boy summer. Okay, we are not city girls this summer. We are not city boys. This is Saturn retrograde. Last time in Aquarius, we are getting to the paper and we are getting down to business. We are focused, and especially because we are going to see a Neptune T-square between the sun, the moon, and Neptune. And so what that pretty much means is that Neptune is going to be in a square to the full moon. So we already know the sun and the moon are opposing one another. Now we've got Neptune, and if I feel like it, I might add a picture of the chart, but that might be too much, y'all. I've already did all of this, it's on the club, but I want to explain it to you anyway. So cut out the distractions. Neptune is, we have the sun and the moon in opposition, and then Neptune is like this third planet on the triangle that is square. Both of these planets are opposing one another. So there is a sense of mental fog, mental distraction, fear, anxiety, worry, manipulation. There's a lot going on. And so we can become easily distracted. We can become very fearful of not being in the mix, being isolated, missing out. There's definitely FOMO going on with this full moon. And we're becoming more aware of how our distractions are actually draining us and pushing us farther away from where we're trying to be, because Saturn is retrograde and we're not putting the energy and the time into what we're actually wanting to accomplish. So cut out the distractions. Utilize this Sagittarius full moon to become more aware of the things that are depleting you of your energy, of your time, and of your attention and your focus on what you're trying to achieve. Cut out the unnecessary relationships, cut out the unnecessary habits. Also, when it comes to like addictions and drinking and things of that nature, a lot of us feel like we need that to keep our minds clear and to keep our minds grounded, but it's actually slowing down our nervous systems. And trust me, I know how it is, okay? But I'm just telling you, be mindful about how you are calming your nervous systems, how you are dealing with stress, how you are dealing with emotional and mental fatigue. Do not push these things up underneath the rug. They're going to catch up with us at the end of the year. And especially when Jupiter moves into Aries officially in 2023, that's going to be go season, okay? And you don't want to have all of these things weighing you down and you're not clear mentally because, you know, we doing stuff trying to appease our fears when we need to address these things head on. Stop finding ways to escape the problems and address the problem, get rid of the problem and move on so we don't have to repeat these lessons. Okay, that was number 3. And the reason for that major theme was the Neptune T-square between the sun, the moon, and Neptune. And Neptune also stations retrograde at the end of the month. So it's important to pay attention to kind of what distractions are coming up for you now, because this is like a preview for what's to come when Neptune stations retrograde at the end of June. All right. And the 4th thing that I want to talk about is focusing on where we are being really overly reactive and where we're being very overly defensive. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because Mars and Chiron are going to be conjunct in Aries on the new moon. And we already know, for my astro lovers, nerds, advanced babies, that Mars is the planet of war, the planet of action, the planet of willpower, the planet of assertiveness, sexuality, all of those things. Chiron is the wounded healer. So Chiron really represents the wounds that we are here to heal, the wounds that we are working through, the wounds that we are uncovering. And so a lot of our actions, right, we're feeling very triggered. We're feeling very snappy, feeling very irritable, feeling very reactive, feeling very sensitive. And so just be mindful about why you're so defensive and about how your defensiveness is actually the cause of your feeling of loneliness, or your feeling of a lack of affection, or your feeling of softness, like you feel like you're always having to protect yourself. And it's because we have to acknowledge where we are giving our power away, how we are being triggered. So if you do feel like very grumpy, or you feel like people are very testy, or people are very irritable, or people are quick to respond, be mindful about the why. Where is this energy coming from? Because a lot of us are in this space of becoming aware of our frustration. And with conjunction energies, it always reminds me of like a new moon. It's like we're learning, we're experiencing, we're becoming more aware. And so we have to be patient with ourselves, and we have to be patient with other people, because we can't fix something until we're aware that it's broken. And so a lot of people haven't even become aware that, like, they're carrying all this anger, they're carrying all this resentment, they're carrying all of these unprocessed wounds, these unprocessed healings, and they're now seeing how it's affecting their relationships, how it's affecting their individual goals, how it's affecting their day-to-day, just whatever. And so people are going to be really defensive. People are going to be really reactive, but it's important for us to have these conversations. It's important for us to put these things into awareness so that we can fix them as individuals and as a collective. So I just want you to be mindful that people are going to be very testy, right? It's already Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is going to say what they want to say, regardless of how people feel about it. And Gemini is going to respond back with its opinion. Okay. So people, it's already a lot of chatter. It's already a lot of confusion and stuff like that. People just blurting out stuff we don't, you know what I'm saying? It's already a lot of that. And so Mars is already in Aries. We've already seen an increase in violence, but it's important for us to see these things as a collective. We need to see, okay, we've got some serious like mental health issues going on. We need to really work on what's going on with all of this violence and stuff, and why people are so angry, and why it's coming up, and why we haven't been addressing it, and what we need to do to talk about these things and approach these things differently moving forward. So don't push these things underneath the rug. Don't be like, damn, why am I so angry today? Or snapping at your kids because your kids are snappy. Like, no, this is an opportunity to figure out, like, why am I so defensive? You know, because I know I've been doing that. Like, girl, why are you so defensive? Like, what's really wrong with you? Because this is not normal. It's not normal to yell at people. It's not normal to be trying to fight people because they accidentally stepped on your toe. It's not normal to get defensive in traffic. That is not normal. And so we need to become more aware of, like, look, we got some serious mental health issues going on. And instead of us like laughing about it or pushing it to the side, this Mars and Chiron conjunction is like, nah, look, we need to heal this as a people and on a personal level. So just be mindful of those energies. And I am not going to go into full sign messages and things like that. I recorded an hour and 30-minute video. It's already on the club. So if you guys are interested in knowing some specific information about your zodiac sign, then please feel free to join us over on the club. And I will see you guys soon for another video. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Peace. Bye. Happy Sagittarius full moon.